Welcome back to The Brainwashed Child. In previous chapters, we explored how home, DNA, peers, and education shape our youth. But what drives them forward?
Today, we explore the engine of resilience, purpose and goals. Chapter 7, Purpose and Goals.
Research by William Damon confirms that purpose isn't just philosophical, it's foundational to mental health. A clear sense of purpose acts as an internal compass, protecting youth from anxiety, hopelessness, and the feeling of being brainwashed by external pressures. When you find your why, you reclaim your agency.
True curiosity sparks a journey. It leads to deep and meaningful exploration, ultimately fosters purpose.
The mountain, sun, and shield. They all lead to a life of purpose.
Welcome to the Discovery Studio. Here, we help you find your true purpose. Let's begin this journey together. It's all part of the process. Let's see what happens next. That's a really bold choice of color. It really makes the whole piece pop. By fostering purpose, we empower every individual. Let's create a future of safe expression and guided discovery. Purpose needs structure. Challenging goals build self-efficacy. The belief, I can achieve this. Each small win reinforces their identity as capable agents.
Beyond achievement, goal setting teaches transferable life skills, planning, time management, and grit.
A screen splits the world in two. On the left, a father sits in the dim kitchen light, his forehead creased with concentration as he erases a failed equation for the third time. On the right, a smartphone glows with the image of a laughing celebrity, showered in gold confetti and holding a trophy without a single drop of sweat. The contrast is sharp and unforgiving. A child stands between these two worlds, eyes flickering back and forth. They watch the father discard his eraser shavings and reach for a heavy textbook. Then, they see the celebrity simply swipe away a notification.
Turning back to the table, the child pulls out a notebook and copies the father's firm grip on the pencil.
Real success is not the trophy. It is the grit shown in the quiet moments before the applause.
Children do not learn from highlight reels. They learn from the person who refuses to quit.
Models normalize harmful behaviors. Counter this with diverse exemplars, activists, caregivers, and innovators. This broadens their definition of a meaningful life. Counter this with diverse exemplars, activists, caregivers, and innovators. This broadens their definition of role models.
Your action plan. Create safe spaces for passion exploration. Curate diverse, value-driven model purpose in your own life.
Look at a modern teenager, and you will see a mind constantly pulled by the gravity of external forces. Between algorithmic feeds, relentless peer pressure, and rigid educational demands, their internal compass rarely has a chance to settle. Without their own internal why to help navigate these pressures, a psychological vacuum forms. This emptiness rarely manifests as simple boredom. Instead, it often leads to persistent anxiety and a scattered focus. Lacking direction leaves them vulnerable. They risk becoming passive recipients of other people's expectations, absorbing whatever goals are handed to them by their screens or their peers. We often try to solve this by blocking the outside world, but building walls around a child is rarely effective in the digital age. Instead, we have to help them develop an internal operating system that provides a steady counterweight to external manipulation.
To foster independence, we must help them build an engine of purpose,
a mechanism that helps shift their locus of control away from outside pressures and back toward their own intentions. Stanford researcher Dr. William Damon has documented exactly how this internal drive works. His data suggests that a clear sense of purpose is a foundational protector of youth mental health, acting as a buffer against hopelessness. But discovering that purpose requires a specific environment. Adults have to construct safe spaces where a young person can explore their interests without the immediate pressure of being judged or corrected. During this exploratory phase, it is useful to let kids lean into passions that might seem non-traditional, messy, or even slightly rebellious to us. By validating these unconventional paths, we give them the room to move away from the cookie-cutter expectations society attempts to place on them. This process of self-discovery forms a layer of psychological armor. It helps ensure their developing identity remains distinct, rather than being shaped entirely by external pressures. Once that abstract purpose is found, it needs mechanical traction to become useful. Intention requires structure to become action. This diagram illustrates the psychological loop identified by researchers Edwin Locke and Gary Latham in their work on goal setting. Notice that the focus here is not on achieving external outcomes, like trophies or perfect grades, but on the internal development that happens during the process. The core of this loop is a concept called self-efficacy. This is the internalized belief a child develops that says, "I have the capability to affect my own reality." We build this belief by helping them set specific, challenging, SMART goals. This method takes large aspirations and breaks them down into manageable microactions. Every time a child completes one of these microactions, they secure a small win. That win serves as evidence that they are a capable agent, feeding right back into the loop and reinforcing their self-efficacy. This repetition provides the evidence required to challenge learned helplessness. By stacking these small wins, the child begins to see themselves as an active participant in their life rather than a passive observer. Building that agency requires the right inputs. Albert Bandura's social learning theory shows that children calibrate their own goals and expectations based on the models they observe in their environment. Today, their environment is flooded with the curated success of viral personalities. This creates a stark contrast against the gritty reality of actual achievement. When youth consume a steady diet of these digital models, they may begin to normalize shortcuts or expect instant gratification, which can lead to apathy when they encounter real-world difficulty. The solution is intentional exposure. We must introduce them to diverse, authentic exemplars, people who demonstrate real struggle, frequent setbacks, and the quiet perseverance required to overcome them. When a child watches a relatable role model push through failure, it makes their own internal goals feel achievable in the real world. When you combine a self-discovered purpose, structured goals, and authentic models, you help a child build the capacity for psychological resilience. This internally driven child begins to see life's inevitable obstacles not as stop signs, but as necessary steps toward their larger objective. As adults, our responsibility here is clear. We cannot successfully impose a sense of purpose onto a young person from the outside. Our role is to act as curators of their environment. We co-create goals rather than dictating them, and we protect the safe spaces they need for exploration. Most importantly, we have to model purposeful living, effort, and integrity in our own daily lives. They are watching how we navigate our own challenges. By engineering this internal drive, we provide an alternative to the passive state of the brainwashed child, supporting them as they become the author of their own future. But now that they have a purposeful destination and the drive to get there, how do we equip them to handle the failures they will inevitably face along the journey? Next time, we explore Carol Dweck's research on the growth mindset.
The journey continues. In Chapter 8, we explore the architecture of your thoughts. While purpose provides the map, your mindset controls your speed and resilience. We will break down Carol Dweck's research to replace fixed limitations with positive adaptation.
Do not miss this transformation. Click the link on your screen now to review our Chapter 6 recap. Then, hit that subscribe button to catch Chapter 8 the moment it drops.